Hello and welcome to this first Realeconomy of 2021. I'm in Brussels where, as across much of Europe, there's a curfew in place and only essential shops are open. As this second wave of the pandemic continues, our jobs and businesses continue to be hit hard. But we have been cushioned from the worst of it by government cash injections to keep people in work. Coming up, Fanny Gore is in Lithuania to find out how self-employed workers and small businesses are faring there.
And I'm in Vilnius, where I've been meeting two sisters who've managed to keep their plant shop blooming despite two lockdowns.
And I speak to Commissioner for Economy, Paolo Gentiloni, to ask how he sees the outlook for our jobs and businesses in 2021. Although unemployment is set to climb to 9.4% in 2021 in the Eurozone area, up nearly 2% from pre-pandemic levels, it is still low compared to the drop in economic activity. Many of these government job retention and furlough schemes are being supported by a European Commission scheme known as SURE. Here's the crash course on how it works. European governments have been subsidising wages and keeping workers on the payroll during the coronavirus pandemic through short-time work and furlough schemes. The European Commission's flagship initiative, SURE, acts as a second line of defence for these schemes, in particular for the self-employed, by providing emergency financial assistance of 90.3 billion euros in loans. The Commission is borrowing up to 100 billion euros on capital markets by issuing bonds with low interest rates that benefit from the EU's solid credit rating. It then lends the proceeds to member states at the same conditions it received. The SURE bonds are social bonds, meaning the funds serve a truly social objective. All those issued in 2020 are due for repayment between 2025 and 2051. Already almost 40 billion euros has been raised on the markets by the social bonds since October last year. One of the countries to benefit from a SURE loan is Lithuania. Fanny Gore headed to the capital Vilnius to meet some green-fingered entrepreneurs.
Christina and Dovili opened their plant shop in September 2019. A few months later, the first lockdown happened and they had to close their doors.
Nobody believed, I think. Nobody believed, yeah, that was a shock. We get support for wage of our employee, and later we get support for rent. It helped very much, and we get chance to survive, I think.
About 90% of their employees' salary was covered by the government scheme. Despite only making half of what they hoped to earn last year, the sisters have managed to open another shop and hire 3 more people. But the spread of the virus means they have to close the shop yet again.
We will continue working because we have internet shop, we have to maintain everything, and we will be working on receiving support. It's quite a lot of paperwork for my sister, and plans for my sister.
As public expenses are increasing to support businesses like this shop and to protect workers from losing their jobs, Lithuania is receiving support through the European instrument SURE in the form of a low-interest loan of about 600 million euros. Thanks to EU help, Lithuania plans to spend close to 900 million euros in 2021 to finance benefits and wage subsidies distributed by the public employment services.
The solidarity of all EU members is very important. I think with the state budget, we could support only 20% of all who need the financial support now.
As a freelance photographer, Martin has benefited from this support when the first wave of the pandemic took away 80% of his income. But unlike employees, self-employed people get about 250 euros per month, less than half of the minimum salary.
Well, it helps a bit. I paid some of my taxes, some bills, but it wasn't enough. I'm lucky I have a wife. She has a job, so she can help the whole family.
With another lockdown, Martin's hopes are on the vaccine so he can quickly return to his usual income. For now, Christina and Dovili are reliant on their internet shop sales and more financial help to keep the shop running with all 4 employees.
Back in Brussels, I've come to the European Commission to speak to the Commissioner for Economy, Paolo Gentiloni, and ask him how he sees the outlook for our jobs and businesses. Commissioner, you were closely involved in designing and putting in place SURE. Why is it so important to you to have this?
The social consequences would have been enormous without these schemes to support jobs in all European countries. So we came to support these schemes. We strengthened this. We made capable all member states to react strongly to this risk. And the consequence is that formally the unemployment rate in the Union didn't surge in a frightening mood.
But aren't we just delaying mass redundancies, mass unemployment that we've kept under control for now?
We are delaying, but delaying is, I think, the right thing to do. When you are in such a crisis, you have to react, you have to build a common response, you need a strategy to an economic recovery, but in the first period of the crisis, you have to save jobs.
In Fanny's report in Lithuania that Martinas, as a self-employed worker, doesn't receive as much money as an employee. How are you making sure that self-employed workers and freelancers are receiving the same support?
This is something that we encourage member states to do, but we are not entering in their schemes. This is not the purpose of the SURE mechanism. I am fully aware of the danger of having, in this crisis, two worlds, a world of employed in big companies, of medium companies that are traditionally protected by these schemes, and another world of self-employed, precarious jobs that are not protected.
How do you see the outlook for our jobs and businesses in Europe for this year ahead?
The pandemic is still there, despite the vaccines, and the future of the economy depends strongly on how effective this vaccination campaign will be. Something is sure, that we are going in the first quarter of 2021 in a difficult situation. We are not in a V-shaped recovery. We are still struggling.
Commissioner Gentiloni, thank you so much for your time and for your insight into all of this. So, no doubt about it, tough times ahead for the economy in this first quarter of 2021. If you have a burning question about the economy and how the pandemic's affecting your job or business, do get in touch with us. For now, though, that's all from the Real Economy team. We'll see you next time.